I've managed to do this before, my lovers. I don't know why it does that, but hey ho. Well, we're gonna have to just do her this way then. My apologies, my sweet, beautiful Taurian lovers. So, pardon me while I am trying to do more of the kind of, what's the word, like portrait or landscape, I forget, but anyway, sometimes my phone seems to not want to do what I want it to do, and here we are. Yeah, I'm wearing a jacket because it's kind of chilly in my cottage this morning. Taurus, we're here. Divine guidance and loving clarity is my intention with tarot. My name is MJ, or Molly, Molly Jane. And I've been doing tarot for quite a few years now. I like to do the monthlies, and I don't get around to the daily or the weeklies, pardon me. I do the daily shares, the monthly shares, and intuitively guided readings for celestial events. So Taurus, we're getting right into it. Divine guidance, love, and clarity for Taurus. King of Wands, this is a fire sign. Aries, Sagittarius, Scorpio. King of Wands, divine guidance and loving clarity. You're working hard. Your energy is moving quite quickly. Be mindful here. You're working hard. Your energy feels a little scattered here, Taurus. This is either you or someone in your energy field, right? That there's some sort of avoidance energy. It's not ill intended. It's not coming from a bad place, I don't think. But it's a sort of wounding that we kind of avoid because it's painful usually. It could be like avoiding a message, denying a message we're receiving, and just wanting to like brush over it or quickly run past it. And thus there's a loop happening maybe around the working life or potentially around how we're feeling in our romantic energy, whether again it's us or the people we're attracting, like a non-committal energy or just not being really sure where or how to really, I guess, stick our energy or commit to something here. And again, the message or the slight distortion would be like running away from something where there's a potential to heal a wound around abandonment, rejection, being left out in the cold, being at a loss, just feeling victim-y, right? And again, we can be truly victimized in moments, and yet there's a deeper call here to continue to acknowledge and address the fact that the deeper wounds are ancestral and generational and from childhood. And sometimes I think there's no swords here, and I do think that sometimes it's best not to think about it too much. Just endeavor to sit with ourselves. Now, here you've got a really good work ethic going around, but it's something about the focus of the work is possibly part of the ish around balancing the energies and allowing yourself to receive, because there's a burden that wants to be released, a long-standing burden, a long-standing way of operating. King of Wands. What do you got here for Taurus? What do you got? I do feel that this is like a benevolent support energy, endeavoring to clear conflict. Magician energy upright. There's a connection here of power. There's a connection here of I kind of get a sense of like an energy that wants to work through the conflict, an energy that wants to be present through, whether it's around us, whether it's us and the inner conflict burdens and battles we have, our own inner demons, or whether it's part of our vortex. There's someone here present that wants to hold the space to clear it and help us find more power. So the work energy, working. There could be some, especially if you're if you're feeling like you're in this phase where you're having to give out for very little, or that you're working, and nothing seems to be accumulating, or you're not necessarily getting to where you think you want to go financially and materially speaking, or you're not attracting the same benevolence that you feel that you're giving out. This would be a long-standing pattern connected to childhood that wants to be cleared and healed, right? But if we're just working all the time and distracting ourselves, sometimes we can evade it. We can kind of run away from it, right? We can kind of be running away from it, distracting ourselves away from diving into that conflict or facing that conflict. And this looks like, again, there's support here, or there's an energetic call for you as far as, yeah, I've got to really sit with this conflict to find my power, to figure out where I want to go, who I want to be in the world, right? And again, for a lot of you, this is self-worth, possibly. Like, it's about worth. It's reorientating your worth and your sense of self. And maybe recharging it, whether, again, somebody's coming into your world, King of Wands, or you're being called to embody more of that fierceness, more of that bold, risk-taking energy. There is this very determined sense here, Taurus, of finding your power and allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to move forward with that power, dropping the old burdens. It's like taking everything with us, just not feeding the energies we don't want to feed anymore. This is also an energy where it's like, this King of Wands energy is an energy where you don't need to be defensive. You don't need to kick back. We don't need to like be on edge. There's a very warm, honest, kind of clear energy that's coming forward here from this King of Wands. So if this is resonating in somebody that you're likely dealing with in your life, I'm getting this sense of like, look up, look up, pay attention. Find your strength. Keep working, obviously, but at the same time, there's likely to be energies you can't see. The Moon card, energies coming out of the woodwork, being triggered in weird ways, being enticed by new energies, right? And obviously, with that Moon energy in the dark, things cannot be what they, things may not be what we think they are, or the initial perception, the initial reaction, the initial sense of it might not be what it is, if that makes sense. Hence, being patient. There's something here, too, about being kind to ourselves and lightening up a little bit about probably old hurts, past pains. There is a new cycle here of greater justice, I feel, for you, Taurus, around giving yourself permission to be more in your balanced state, to give yourself permission to trust your higher self. The way she's sitting on the buildings, that's giving me a sense of, again, moving, or like there could be this phase where you're wanting to get a bit of a different part in the hair. Gee whiz. There might be a sense of you wanting to get a perspective. So you might end up, I just see her, I'll show you. She's like risen, balanced, higher mind, perspective, connected. She's sitting on these buildings, though. And the building, her sitting kind of perched on the building, is making me think of when we're in a phase of life where we are higher up. We're able to kind of look at life, look at our place in it, and maybe assess where we want to be from a slightly higher perspective. And then so this is where I'm thinking of that's the ring from the light. I'm thinking that some of you might be in this phase of going, how do I really see my life? Where would I like to be? Because she can see the sea, she can see the mountains, she can see land, she can see buildings and cities and towns, and she's so high up, right, that she can see a really broad potential as far as your personal landscape goes. So for some of you, there could be this sort of there is a determinedness, but also a dreaminess around like, what now? Where do I go now from this? So because even though there's obviously some challenge here and some stuff that wants to be released and some healing that wants to come through, yes, it might come through in ways that you're not going to expect. It might kind of be a bit of a shock or a bit of a like, whoa, I did not see that coming. And then there's support. There is support or a sense of ushering you to be more bold in your life, to ask more for what you want, to not feel so defensive, right? But also this means letting go of carrying things that maybe you've been accustomed to carrying that are not yours to carry anymore, and they're tuckering you out. They're making you feel tired. They're making you feel kind of left out or just like meh. And again, there's a support here calling you in to kind of sit with the energy, sit with that stuff, find more clarity within your personal power and your faith, and then access that higher mind and vision to feel into and or see where it is that you're being guided to go. Pallas Athena, think. There is that. And then I'm sure earlier was like, don't think too much about it. There could be an invitation for you, Taurus. And there's this activation energy too. So there is a sense of like, I'm getting this like slowing down enough just to be still and maybe be still with other. See, again, the kind of like busy energy, distracted, I just get the sense there has to be that kind of slowing down to know like all the tools and things and whatever that you have. And then, you know, it's not even like some message is going to come through. It's more that there will be a determined will, or just maybe a sense of renewed strength, power, and faith. That Rebel card's come up quite a bit too. There's a discernment within some of our patterns here where we have to be more aware. There is something about a desire to run away or a desire to distract ourselves from healing. Yeah, Knight of... And again, it's not... There's not players, it's not people playing with ourselves, not us trying to play with ourselves. It's a sense of wanting to run away from something that doesn't need to be run away from. And weirdly, again, the counterintuitivity or the paradox here is like, it's almost like saying there's got to be a break or a shift in the way we work, and a shift in the way we relate to people and how we're taking on energy. There could be things within ourselves that want healing, as far as like feeling worthy, feeling like we belong, feeling like we deserve, all that kind of stuff. And this desire, this kind of impulse, just be like, run away, be a rebel. And like, there's something in that energetic that just somehow isn't serving the long-term vision of greater balance, harmony, strength, and faith, right? And again, a boldness, a warmth, fire, wands, right? A lot of fire and wand energy here, a lot to be released, hence the kind of maybe an emotional storm of sorts, right? But some of you could literally just have like bits and bobs to do at home. There could be, you know, that Virgo energy, spring cleaning. It's springtime in the northern hemisphere, and the energies are aligning in that way where it could just be stuff that you're wanting to clear out. You're like, I just don't want that in my environment anymore. Maybe there's like food that you don't want to eat anymore, substances, right? There's a sense of taking that little bit of quiet time to just organize areas of our lives, or organize drawers, right, in the kitchen, or because that will help recharge us. That kind of slow, just kind of focused organizing of our lives can actually help to stir a deeper creative energy, this sort of sense of grounding the body, staying grounded, and within that groundedness, allowing the wellspring of kind of life force and vitality to come through that more authentically, rather than thinking we've got to just keep working, or rather than thinking we've just got to keep serving, or be defensive, or whatever those layers of some of the old outpour energy, especially stuff that might have been a kind of in the last 4 to 5 years, like energies that we thought we might have cleared. And then when the pandemic lockdown energies came back round, there was like old energies that we thought we cleared that resurfaced for like a deeper introspection, a deeper healing, or just a different perspective to look at things from a different angle. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, right? And it's to do with the way we're using our energy, which manifests oftentimes in money that we make, resources that we create. And if we're feeling like we're treading water, just working, but never getting ahead, there's some sort of energetic pattern that wants to break. And it has a lot to do with taking on too much from other people. Maybe for some of you, people pleasing, not deserving to receive benevolence, a block around not deserving to feel full of life and full of support for yourself, and an ability to give and support other people. And again, there's a little block potentially around a wounding of not belonging, or a wounding of like not fitting in on some level. But again, there is support. There's this King of Wands energy that you're either being called to, or someone of that nature is coming into your world to soften some of that. You could even say like soften some of that survival mode energy, quelch some past pain and hurts that might still be triggering a sense of unrest or inner conflict, probably around work, finance, money, love, like this, the worthiness stuff of how do we deserve to show up and receive the love that we want to give out, right? Some of you might want to take a little journey, little bit of an adventure journey, paying attention. Something is coming up around paying attention to the detail and organization. Some of you might, again, I'm kind of like getting a closet or a room or some paperwork, or there's just a little bit of attention to detail, filing papers, maybe it's tax stuff. But there's sort of, I think there's sort of this light coming through. It's like this, even though, again, there's a lot of challenge and turbulence, there seems to be piercing through this sort of lightness of like, I think we're going to get there. Have the faith, get the higher perspective, be willing to take a trip, be willing to have an inner journey as well, meditation, quantum healing, shamanic healing, be willing to go within to excavate and or open up the portal, like window within your heart where there can be some really profound healing. This would be stuff, again, 5 of Pentacles, like feeling left out in the cold, being abandoned. There's a collective wound too, like with the Chiron that's been transiting Aries, and with that additional North Node, lots of Aries action. This is really our spark of life. So collectively with Chiron, it's like encouraging this spark of our human consciousness to heal old shit and bring about greater lightness, bring about more of our authentic innocence and truth, right? Kind of just having faith in that activation, because I think a lot of the old ways of working collectively, individually, what have you, are just gonna fall away. We can't sustain it. Finding our personal power, having the strength, and then the wisdom to kind of move us forward. Okie dokie, I'm going to leave it there, Taurus. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful month of May. Let me know if that resonates. Happy birthday! Taurus, happy birthday to you, my lover supreme. It is Taurian season. I have quite a few Taurus people in my life. They often have really been able to exemplify and show me greater stability and the I guess the importance of that, their importance in being grounded and stable and routined. And it's taken me almost 42 years to really, really appreciate that and recognize why that's so important for our safety and our ability to thrive rather than just survive on this planet. So again, the shakeups so that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction happening in Taurus is really shaking up the stubborn, resistant patterns within us, right? And kind of cajoling us into like, I can't do it that way anymore, and so it's kind of tweaking, even though it might seem scary. It's going to be a little tweaking here and a tweaking there, attention to detail, organizing things that helps clear that path and see the new routine, right? See that new structure for you, Taurus, to grow the new garden, or to reveal the next phase of healing and expansion for you. Let me know how that resonates with you guys. Have an awesome, awesome month of May, and I'll speak to you hopefully in the daily readings. You can check me out on TikTok, on Instagram, and Facebook, and of course, subscribe to Ultra Love, and subscribe here too, and thumbs up and all that juicy stuff. Thank you guys so much. Have an awesome month. Take care. Peace out.